Chapter 6, Season 2, Lawless, and contrary to popular belief, I think this is the best season in years. Yeah, it's a little bit of an unpopular opinion. It's gonna take me a bit to explain why, so let's just... Like last season, this map is wonderful, like, still top tier, and I don't understand any hate towards any part of it. The new biome is really great and unique compared to everything else on the map. The 3 new POIs are actually very good, and I drop each one often. There's 4. Want to guess how many times I've landed there in a 2.5-month season? Twice. Once on my first day playing, and once more a week later. I genuinely haven't dropped this POI or been at this POI in 2 months. It's a cool enough POI that reminds me of Chapter 4 or something like Steamy Springs, but who lands here? Alright? Like, come on. You think I'd rather land here than literally anywhere else on the map with 2 bots named Honey Boil 777 and Player Slayer 989. Shiny Shafts is a really good take on Shifty Shafts and separates the 2 main factions of the map. It has a secret vault and grind rails connecting to the 2 parts. A lot of times I dropped Shiny Shafts and there's a good amount of people there, so you have a fun off spawn and you can get like 3 legendary chests off spawn. Lone Wolf Lair is just Lavish Lair, let's be so honest, but I'm gonna be so dead ass. I like it better than Lavish Lair. Yep, I know. Finally, Crime City, which was extremely hyped up in all the marketing for this season, and then ended up being way smaller than I thought it was going to be. But I think it's a really cool city. It turns to night and rains every time you enter here because it did replace Night Shift Forest, so it makes sense that it turns to night, and I like that it rains. It has a cool neon aesthetic, and with really high graphics, it looks really, really cool. And it's just fun to fight in. 2 more things added on with the map changes: the vaults, which are in these new POIs, and black markets. The vaults are well spread out across the map in both new and old POIs, like Mass Meadows and Seaport City are still visited often for their vaults. A lot of POIs, though, are just ghost towns, unfortunately, but that's the way with most new seasons. But thanks to the train, we now have a reason to go around the map and look for it and sort it out, because now it both gives 2 Dilbits and a fun experience to play and bomb the train or whatever, even though the turrets do so much damage for no reason at all. But it also gives the best shotgun in the game, and instead of the train being useless and forgotten about every game, it's now usually bombed in the middle of the zone for everyone to admire. I like the black market concept, being able to buy mythics and exotics instead of fighting for them, especially because there's so many of them, which I'll talk about soon. And I like that you get these for rewards for breaking into vaults. But for some weird ass reason, Epic started handing Dilbits out like candy for the very accessible legendary keycard. Like, what's the fucking point of going out to rob a vault when majority of people land at black markets rather than any actual POI? That's what pisses me off about this season so much. Oh, you can get a Dilbit from this chest in this place. There's a bit mining area where you can get tons for free. Vaults in the train, that should be it. That should literally be it. But for some fuck ass reason, Epic has decided to add these things everywhere. One time I had 12 on me at once. And I couldn't spend any of them anyway, so what's the fucking point? There are 4 Dilbit items at every black market except for the Crime City one where there's 5. So 13 in total per game. We don't need every single one every game. It devalues the mythics and makes them too accessible. Now, I'm fine with having an inventory of mythics and exotics because that's fun. But when I can't fit all this shit in my pockets because the duo I managed to kill, who were Slayer Juice World skins, managed to have a full exotic loadout each, now I think we have a problem. I'm telling you, and I think everyone can agree, 10 Dilbits total every game. 4 vaults and the train. That's 10. No need for more. It takes away the main draw of this season, robbing vaults. We can just drop magic mosses and get them a fucking minigun off spawn. There isn't much else to say because this map is still pristine. And now onto the loot pool. The loot pool this season was a bit iffy in general. I think it started off pretty good. Off rip, the Hollow Twister stayed in while the Fury and Ranger were vaulted, and they were replaced with 2 new ARs, a revamped Striker Burst and the Collateral Damage Assault Rifle.
I'd rather stick a Collateral Damage Assault Rifle up my ass.
Later in the season, the Twin Mag AR was also added back. I like how instead of 1 red dot sight dominating the meta, 3 out of 4 of the ARs had red dot sights, but at the same time that leaves the Collateral to rot and die, and I honestly think it should have been called the Collateral Damage SMG instead of Assault Rifle, because after medium range, this thing is absolutely useless. As a frag weapon, it's very good. It just sprays through builds, and it's like a really good SMG. But it's not an SMG. Shotguns this chapter as a whole have been really weird. Last season, we only had 2 viable options out of 3, and really only 1 because the Twinfire sucked ass. But at the start of the season, we only had the Sentinel and Twinfire, which is fine because I never picked up the Oni anyways, so it didn't really matter to me. But then over the course of the season, we got 3 more without any vaults. Excuse me? 5 shotguns at a time. How bloated can it be? I guess it doesn't matter because I'll only be taking the Sentinel, which is the right thing. The pump should dominate the shotgun meta, but at the same time, we don't need 4 others that you're not going to take over it. The Infiltrator got buffed and is relatively good and way better than it used to be, so it is worth picking up, but you're still going to want to take the Sentinel instead. The Pump and Dump is alright. It got buffed and nerfed a little bit, so I think it's balanced, but at the same time, it's not super good. And ignore the Twinfire and Outlaw. I hate the Twinfire now, and the Outlaw is the exact same thing 1-to-1 as the double barrel. I can't spot the difference. Vault the Twinfire, like, come on, and maybe just you shouldn't have added the Outlaw in the first place. For all I care, you could have unvaulted the double barrel. It really wouldn't have mattered. SMGs stayed exactly the same, but with the scope burst being added near the end, which didn't change literally anything. I don't think I ever picked this up. We got the fuck-ass sticky grenade launcher back, which I never really used too, but the people who did, I hate you. Oh, and of course, they added back the glorious, wondrous Mammoth Pistol, which I think fit perfectly into the loot pool along with this Mythic at the expense of being the most overpowered weapon in the game. Now, I'm not the best with the Mammoth Pistol, but even I can agree that this thing completely overshadows the Falconized Sniper, which is so genuinely horrible. Like, even if the Mammoth Pistol wasn't in the game, I would never, ever use this. Like, not once. Like, bottom 5 sniper of all time. Circling back to Mythics and Exotics, we have a very long list. Midas returned again and brought a new drum gun, which is actually extremely good. As an AR, SMG, fuck it, use it as a shotgun too. Normally people don't like the thermal scope, but putting it on a mythic drum gun with almost no recoil is overpowered to say the least. Brutus also brought his minigun. Of course he did, but actually I don't have any complaints. It's fun and I don't actually get killed by it too much, maybe because I'm not super shit at the game. The Mythic Pump and Dump and Outlaw Shotgun, which I never ever used once, because I'm not spending my dilbit on this garbage. The Mythic Sentinel Pump, like I said, stayed on the train and was just still amazing, the best shotgun in the game by far. From Armored Trucks, you can get the Mythic Striker Burst and Mythic Suppressed Pistol, as well as the enhanced Twinfire Auto Shotgun. I didn't have this in the script, but I just remembered it. As for medallions, all 3 I think were balanced and didn't give too much advantage to the wielder. Fletcher Kane dropped the Nitro-esque medallion and the Mythic Mammoth Pistol, which is just a better Nitro medallion, better as in more balanced. Scorpio dropped the first round explosive medallion and his kinda ass combat kit, and Shogun X, still on the island, dropped the old Mythic Hollow, which is still amazing, and the medallion that gave you a mini shield bubble whenever you healed, which I think is pretty balanced and I think is a perfect medallion in the sense that there's nothing really wrong with it. Epic finally added new exotics instead of bringing old ones back, which is, oh my god, thank you. It's a breath of fresh air or a sniff of pure cocaine, whatever which way you want to think about it, because they're still exotics in the end of it. In the first round of Lawless exotics, that's a tongue twister, mind you, there were 14 in total, but you got the Trinity AR, Blink Pump and Dump, Heavy Impact Tracking Sniper, Stink Hunting Rifle, Shockwave Rocket Launcher, and the Slap Cannon. All besides the last one were very good. especially the snipers and the rocket launcher, which was one of the best mobility islands. Jesus Christ. And the rocket launcher, which is one of the best mobility items of all time, if you can get your hands on it. The second round was more lackluster. The ideas were cool. The accelerant hollow twister, which kept the same damage as a gray and green hollow twister to not be super overpowered. The rift launcher, which is just a get out of a fight free card, but it's still really cool because you can pull some cool tricks with it. And the slap jug, coming off the already amazing updated chug jug, became pretty much the best healing item of all time, outside of maybe a Little Whip's special serve. The twin fire slap shotgun is extremely mid at best. What am I talking about? It's shit. The only thing that's good is that you have infinite stamina while holding it, but that's not worth a dill bit. The explosive mammoth is understandably projectile. Thank God, because or else this thing would have been so unbelievably terrible to whoever got hit by it. And the final mark rifle is just the tracking rifle, but with both a worst power and a worse sniper. Like, the tracking ability with the heavy impact tracks the area, so you don't even have to hit them to track them. But with the final mark one, you actually have to hit them, which is impossible with this genuinely shit. Oh my god, the Falcon Eye fucking sniper. The mythic scene this scene was unbelievably strong and not too overpowered, and it didn't lower your chances of winning if you didn't have one. As for other stuff, the mobility was also good this season. I loved and hated the kneecapper. It was more balanced, it was more fun, and the only semi-overpowered thing about it is the home run mechanic, which is spammable, but it is fun as fuck, and if you have a big problem with it, I don't know, shut the fuck up. I understand where people are coming from, because it feels like Epic has a thing about adding super overpowered melee items and slapping a durability on it and calling it a day. This weapon was fun, but I'd like no melee weapon for just like one season, please. And I don't think that's gonna happen because it's a Star Wars season, and of course there's gonna be fucking lightsabers. The rocket drill is a tuned rocket ram. At first, I didn't like it that much, but now I feel like they equal each other. If not, the rocket ram is worse than the rocket drill. But they also, at the end of the season, added the rocket ram back for some reason, and instead of vaulting the rocket drill or not giving it 10 fucking uses, then maybe it would have been used more, but like I'd never use it over the rocket drill. Like what do you want me to do with this? Good loot pool, honestly, with a couple of stinkers like the bloated shotgun pool, some of the shit exotics, and the kneecapper controversy, but it's better than last season's, I guess, because it didn't have the explosive repeater rifle in it. So 8 out of 10. To wrap it up with final thoughts, first the battle pass. Now, some people were saying that this was absolute horseshit, that this is the worst battle pass of all time, that this was the worst season of all time. All right, hold your horses. All right, like, where are you getting this from when we have like 7 right here? Boo me all you want, but this season was entertaining as fuck, and I really liked it. But you know damn well this season was better than Chapter 5 Season 1. It wasn't that good. But to quickly talk about the battle pass itself, well, it was alright. Not the best, but pretty clean and good overall. The fencing lady is actually cool. Cone lady is pretty good with the cell shading on. Fletcher Kane disappointed me very much, but that he's probably the worst in the battle pass. Valentina is pretty cool and clean too. Big Dill is by far the greatest skin of all time, no questions asked. Keisha Cross isn't too bad, she's also pretty clean. And Sub-Zero is just cool, but shouldn't have been tier 100 and should have been the secret skin instead of the, of course, new Midas skin, which I actually heavily enjoy. Overall, this battle pass is a 7 out of 10. It deserves way too much hate. So far, Chapter 6 has been going 2 for 2 on battle passes being better than Chapter 5. And really quickly, the Mortal Kombat collab, because they didn't mention it in the loot pool section. I don't care. The items are very mid and don't affect the loot pool whatsoever. Especially when there's too many other good things to be carrying that I don't want to carry Scorpion's fucking mythic combat kit. But the medallion is good. Every time I see a video remotely talking about opinions about Fortnite on TikTok, I don't look at the comments because at this point I don't care. If I agree with you, just shut the fuck up. Oh my god, shut up. I don't want to be the type of person to say let people enjoy things, but sometimes you really have to. Fortnite and the Big 25. Listen, I used to be the same way, but come on, can you just shut up? Like, at this point, this is the right time to say let people enjoy things, alright? You found this season filled with plenty of things to do mid-game, cool weapons, and pretty balanced guns, and a great map. Everything that you can ask for in a crime season, and you say this is the worst season of all time, it's either a skill issue or you never liked a season before. You have to be like, at that point, it's nostalgia. Like, how is this I can get, listen. I can understand if you find it a little boring after a game. That makes sense. Your attention span has been fried by reload. I find myself switching every game from reload to BR to reload to BR to not wear myself out on a single mode, so I can try everything in each mode, have fun in different mode, have different playing experiences without getting bored. Because eventually, if you play reload all the time, guess what? You're gonna get fucking burnt out from being third party left and right with still no siphon, by the way. There were some boring points in this season, but that's how it is with every season. Guess what? Your favorite season, Chapter 2, Season 2, one of the longest seasons of all time. And you're telling me that it wasn't boring. The only reason it's the #1 season of all time for most people is because it was in the pandemic. Genuinely, I don't think it would be top 10 without the pandemic. I'm being so dead ass. This season looks so mid. And guess what? It was proven with Remix. I liked Remix, but that was also in the modern day with constant updates, and it was only a month long. I feel like if they just brought that entire season back, I wouldn't have liked it that much. Like, the hate for this season cannot be more forced in my eyes. Like, last season, like, I didn't really understand how anyone could hate it. I get that maybe you don't like it that much, but, like, hating it, like, that's a little too far. Hate's a strong word, guy. And saying that this is the worst season of all time genuinely doesn't make sense. At the time of recording this, I'm going to try and enjoy the hell out of the last, like, day and a half with this season before the Star Wars season completely ruins a perfectly good chapter. But what did you think of this season? And how do you think it will hold up for the rest of time, for the rest of the universe's life? In a month, I'll be back with another review. So for now, enjoy the day, and let me know in the comments if you feel like it.